Episode 62 is here, and she wants a coffee. Kristen Latterell be present along with my lady's maid, Corrigan Vaughn, and this week the Fancave took on the Renaissance Faire, and the Renaissance Faire won. We'll tell you all about it, including a most epic fail at trying to remember the name of a beloved child actor, and just how good those turkey legs really are. We'll talk Vin Diesel's The Last Witch Hunter and Simon Pegg's Absolutely Anything trailers, that Crazy Pants Suicide Squad photo. Honestly, I say Crazy Pants in front of that title so often that I'm thinking they should probably just change the name. Justin Timberlake tells us how limes fell out of vogue, and over in the Chris Pratt corner, there's a rivalry brewing. So, take a seat, grab an aged mead, and let's have us a grand old time.
Huzzah!
Hey, Corey. Huzzah! Oh, man.
Good morrow, Kristen.
Stop saying that to me. It gives me a twitch. Just
I know.
kidding.
Maybe a little bit.
Good morrow, Corrigan. How beeth you this mañana? They probably didn't say mañana back then.
I don't know,
actually.
but I think you're probably about as accurate as a lot of the people who are at the Ren Fair, so I'm not even worried about it, to be honest with you.
The scary old man that was like the line matron or something, master, when we were like waiting in line to get our, like, he would point us to the next line, and he was like kind of hunched over and was like talking all weird, and I was like, what is happening?
I guess I've already sort of like erased that from my memory bank because that sounds scary. And
yeah. Well, yeah. So if you guys missed it, I think we were talking about it last week. Corrigan and I braved the Renaissance Pleasure Fair this year. Our friend Brienne wanted to go, and then we were like, no, that's okay. But then it kind of turned into a thing. If you remember, Mac was going to go with us, but then Mac couldn't get off work, so then just the three of us went. We actually met up with some other friends there. And it was such an experience. I don't even know. I honestly wouldn't have minded it so much if people didn't just like accost you at all times.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
I think.
And there's so many boobs. I was so uncomfortable.
This is true. Even I was uncomfortable by all the boobs, and that's like my like I'm busty.
There's just a lot. There was a lot.
It's a critical mass of boobage at that place.
I mean, I'm surprised that they could handle that.
Yep. You know, it was an interesting experience for me because obviously I like going to cons and stuff like that. It's not like I don't have any aversion to people like being in character as things or something like that. But there was just something like especially obnoxious about, well, for one thing, okay, so they have these pub crawls within the fair. And so like you're like walking along and all of a sudden like a group of like 20 men will just go, oh, like the power thirst guy for like a minute and a half. And you're just like, stop. Please don't do that. And then just bad British accents everywhere, like offensive to the ear British accents. And it's like, I feel like the level of commitment is not quite there, like going to a con. And that's fine. That's people's thing, you know? They just want to like casually go and like talk in a weird accent for a day and lose themselves. That's cool, but it's just not necessarily my bag. Like I was just like annoyed with people a lot, and I'm like, stop yelling. Like, does everybody have to yell all the time? It's too much. It was too much. But there were fun things.
I mean, for me, there were. And for me, it's more of I'm not even really super into cons. Like when we went to Kamikaze, it's just too many people for me. Like I just get overwhelmed really easily. I even went to like the Grand Market in LA to have lunch one day, and I was like, hard pass. Can we leave? It's like, so ridiculous, but I just get really overwhelmed in those kinds of social situations where I don't really know what's going on, and there's a lot of people, and anyway. But we did get our turkey legs.
Yes.
Which were intense.
And how. Yeah.
How.
They were giant turkey legs that were magical, and they tasted so much better than those weird hammy ones
they were
at
like
Disneyland.
Legit turkey legs.
Yeah.
Like, they tasted like turkey.
Yeah, these, I believe, actually came from the bird we recognize as turkey on this planet, as opposed to whatever the heck they're stitching together in some Frankenstein's lab at Disneyland to make theirs. And it was a delight, and that was great, and they had all kinds of cool hard ciders that were great, like a raspberry one and a black cherry one.
Which one?
Shh. That's enough out of you.
I missed it. I just didn't hear what you said.
That is enough.
I've never heard of that fruit, so I can't.
A raspberry?
Okay. Okay. And the joust was kind of fun, although we got picked on the lame guys team.
Yeah.
And I kind of take responsibility because as we were walking in, we were going to sit in the cool guys team section, but it was kind of full and there was like tons of seats on the other side. So I'm like, let's go around. We went around, but then we got in like the lame guys section.
I know. Yeah.
Who was like the lamest of all of them. He wasn't just like not the winner.
He was just like super lame.
I mean,
like,
I would have even rather
tooly.
been in the old guys.
Yeah. At least the old guy was kind of evil.
The old guy was so old. I was so like impressed with his jousting skills.
Right?
Like, what?
Yeah. He was kicking our young dude's butt.
I know he was.
Oh man! But the coolest guy was basically like he reminded me of like Adamar from A Knight's Tale. So you know maybe that's a little villainous, but like he just had all this flair and was super cool. And he had this
like laugh that he would do.
Yeah, and he had like the coolest horse with all these chainy things on it, and they're like, yeah, that guy is our champion. Screw you.
We just rooted for him instead.
Yeah, and he won. So, well, at least he won the part. And then they were like, and there will be a rematch at 5. And we were like, oh, come on.
Let's just do it now.
Yeah, like, we're all here.
We're already here. The people who come back later probably wouldn't have seen this one, so they won't know it's a rematch.
No context. It was problematic for me. And then we also saw like this show that was like the Washerwomen or something like that.
That just made me. It was funny, but it also made me so uncomfortable.
It was too awkward for it. She couldn't handle it because it was like it's like a comedy show. These two women, who are playing like old washerwomen and stuff. So they're always splashing the audience with dirty laundry and stuff like that. But they would get like these men to come on stage and like do things in order to like get a rose for their girlfriends or things like that, and they were just so horribly embarrassing. And Kristen just like had her head in her lap the entire time and just going, no, this makes me so uncomfortable.
Oh, it was so uncomfortable. Oh my god.
But you know, those guys did a great job.
They really did. And I liked it because they were super into it. So it would have been worse if they had like were making them do embarrassing things and the guys were like
oh no.
So at least they were like so into it, which that made it a little bit more bearable because the guys clearly weren't embarrassed. I was just embarrassed for some reason, so I don't know what the big deal was. Like,
although it was probably like, it was a little bit of empathy embarrassment because, you know, the guys weren't embarrassed, but their girlfriends were probably sitting there like, oh God, no, Jeremy, no, please.
Because none of them were like dressed up, so these weren't like hardcore Renaissance people.
Nope.
These were just people that were like, let's try it out. They were probably the pub crawl guys or something.
Yeah.
That had stopped at this show. And they were just in regular clothes. So you're like, they're not even like... One guy had a fanny pack on him. This guy is not even really committed.
On fanny pack, you guys.
It was actually glorious.
Yeah, there was something good about that.
He called it a tummy pack or something. I was like, a what? She called it something funny. I was like, a fanny pack? She's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, I didn't follow up with her because I think the show started, but I was like, what are you saying? It's a thing. It was really funny.
Brie would have like another term for that, you know.
Of course, and it's like so adorable. Of course, it's like tummy bag or whatever it is that she called it.
Maybe it's because she spent time in England and you don't want to call something a fanny pack there.
Is fanny a bad word in England?
Fanny is your vajayjay.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
This is one of those things.
I don't know about slang. I'm not very good at slang.
The first time that I ever went over there, I remember like we were told beforehand like two basic things that we should know is that you don't throw a peace sign this way, you know, backwards. Sorry for those listening. And you don't use fanny. And all of us were like, okay, like when were we ever gonna do that though? And like immediately. It like everyone did both of those things and we were like, oh my God, like I swear we don't ever say that word in regular life, but like my friend Carlos said something about like falling on his fanny or something like that, and it was like, when do you say that? When have you ever said anything about falling on your fanny?
I've never said that in my life.
And it was just, and then that's like awesome. We would take pictures like with kids and stuff like that and like immediately throw up the backwards peace sign and like, why are we doing this? But it's like irresistible. It's like now it's in your mind and you can't
not do it.
Yeah. So all that to say, maybe that's why Brie does not say fanny pack.
Maybe that's why. Sorry.
That was a great look. I'm gonna gif that later.
Okay. And then what the real kind of excitement came for us we went to the turtle races, which were not exciting. Actually,
there was
a little bit of a letdown, and the turtles looked sad. We just kind of wanted to take them home and feed them lettuce. But we were standing there, and it's hot. It's kind of getting towards the end of the day. We were getting ready to leave. Mm-hmm. We stopped at the turtle races. It's kind of our last hurrah.
Yeah.
And I turn around, and I see this man who I instantly recognize, but cannot place his name to save my life. And I whip around. I'm like, Corey, is that? And she does this, like, kind of moves to the side of me to look past my head, and then snaps back straight. She goes, uh-huh. Like, oh my God, what's his name? Could not remember. Adam Wiley.
Adam Wiley. This is like, I mean, and the thing is, like, yeah, he was like a big, like, kind of, like, not a big child star, but he was in, like, a lot of things, you know? So, and, like, normally I feel like I know his name. Like, I even had a sense when I got home, I was like, I'm fairly certain his name's Adam something. But I just couldn't make it work. And so we were, like, standing there, we're trying to, like, subtly take, like, pictures, you know, as you do.
That we took that was, like, such a fail. It's, like, not even good.
I'll put it on the cave. Although, but that's the great part about this, is that, so we take this picture, and it's just sort of, like, Kristen laughing because she's awkward about the fact that we're trying to do this. She's like, should I, like, stand here while you take a set of picture? I'm like, yeah. Okay. And so I take a picture, and it's, like, the side of his face. He's super small in the background. You can see nothing about them. I posted on Instagram, and, like, within 3 minutes, Emily, our friend Emily, has identified who he is. She's like, Kindergarten Cop, and it's not like the main kid from Kindergarten Cop.
It's
like,
Larry from Kindergarten Cop, you guys.
It's like random character from Kindergarten Cop. And I'm like, and the thing was, I, like, looked at the thing, and I was like, I don't think he's in that. He's not on the cover. Like, I don't think so. And she managed on Google Images to, like, find one picture of him, like, in motion in Kindergarten Cop. I was like, holy crap, that is him. What? So it was like, we had been there just like, dang it. 'Cause if we had known his name, we totally would have, like, approached him and been like, hey, how's it going? Take a picture. And maybe, hey, do you want to be on a podcast? Like, that'd be cool. But it was just like, both of us couldn't. And, like, Kristen, did you watch, I was about to say Gossip Girl. What's the other Gigi? Gilmore Girls.
I did, but I don't remember him on it.
Yeah, okay, because that wasn't, like, this started a whole thing on my Instagram. Everyone was like, hello, Gilmore Girls, and I hate Gilmore Girls. So, I didn't
remember him. Maybe he was in the early seasons?
I don't know. Like, from the way everyone was talking about it, you would think he was, like, the main character. But, yeah, it says 2002, 2003, so that's, what, like, second or third season, or first season, even? Someone there. His name was Brad Langford on Gilmore Girls.
Yep.
Like, you guys, if you were alive in the 90s, like, you would look at him and you'd be like, yeah, I know exactly who that is. And we just sort of blame the fact that it was hot and dusty, like, with layers of dust over us, for the fact that we could not place, like, a single thing definitively
that he was in. It was just awful. It was terrible. And it's funny, too, because I posted it, and my friend Lauren, I went to high school with, she's been on the Fancave. She does their Benedict Cumberbatch stuff. She said that, so we used to do this, we had, like, this accelerated core program when you're a freshman, and we did, like, a water conservation thing for, like, the elementary school. So the groups put together video, and you, like, submitted videos to this water conservation association or something, and they had, like, awards for, like, the best videos about conserving water. Mm-hmm. And apparently he was, like, the guest, a celebrity guest or something at our, like, we had, like, a conservation fair, and he was in it, and it was, like, this whole thing. And she was like, yeah, he was there. And she's like, I got to be part of the welcoming committee who was, like, in charge of making sure, like, he felt like we loved him. And she's like, I just got to fangirl over him all day, and his mom was there.
Oh,
like,
my God.
This is so bizarre, but also, like, the best thing that's ever happened.
It is. It's so great. Because, yeah, I mean, I think that so just, random. Like, yeah, it's random, but it's, like, also, like, he is recognizable enough, like, that really, that would be super cool to have at your, like, high school, to be like, oh my gosh, that guy's here. Like,
it's the kid from the Odyssey.
Yeah, and he's doing, like, he does a ton of, like, voiceover work and stuff like that now. And so I think, you know, people don't know what voiceover actors and stuff like that look like. But
in a world.
Yeah. But for those, oh my gosh, he was on Hey Arnold even.
See? Big time, you guys.
Yeah.
We saw big time start the
And he was dressed up, too.
And we blew it. He was dressed up like a legit knight, too.
Yeah,
not
he had armor.
like a squire or something.
Yeah.
He was crushing it.
And so, yeah, we really dropped the ball there, Fancave, and
we apologize.
We apologize for that. You know, maybe someday this will be like the terrible Martin McCann voicemail messages, and it'll be the catalyst for us having Adam Wiley on this show and being able to be like, and we'll apologize to him personally, like A, for taking creepy pictures of him, and B, for not knowing his name in public. You know, I try not to do that usually, like take the subtle picture of a celebrity because they're like so aware of it, but he was like really into his like group of friends, so I don't even know if he noticed.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, I think there was one of his friends that maybe was like, are those girls like
looking at you?
Looking at what?
I think those girls recognized you, because then we also were like awkward, because then we like walked. It was just a whole awkward thing. We were like to the side of him, but then we like moved to the front of him, because then we were trying to get reception to look up who he was, because we couldn't remember. Anyway, it was this like whole.
It was a process, you guys. It was a process.
Anyway,
a failed process.
So we apologize for our failures
and then we ate taquitos, and everything was better with the world.
That is true.
So
there's nothing a good taquito can't fix.
It's true. I'll say. And a great big.
Not what you say is what I say.
A great big thank you to Kristen's parents for letting us invade post Ren Fair and gain our strength back in the spa. And
we got to watch. Well, you had to leave, but Bree and I ended up watching Sunset with my dad.
You guys. They watched the movie that we discussed last week, Sunset. I could not stay because I had a paper due, but one of these days.
Yes, my parents love having us over, so it was fun.
Yeah. Anyways, what's going on in culture?
So there's some new trailers out.
There are.
We should talk about. So we've been so caught up with Furious 7, and we kind of forget that Vin Diesel's like in other stuff.
Things, yeah. Who knew?
So he is in a new movie coming out called The Last Witch Hunter.
Yeah.
And Michael Caine is in it, and there's someone else now that I'm forgetting.
Elijah Wood's in it.
Elijah Wood, that's who you said.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him in the trailer.
It's brief. I have Elijah Wood radar. That's all.
Yeah, there you go. But what's really great is I actually don't know if Vin Diesel says anything in the whole trailer. He just looks really, like, intense in it.
Yeah, it's super. There's something like, I don't know, I feel like people don't like Vin Diesel. They think he's a bad actor or whatever. I am not of that, group. And there's something to be said for, like, just, like, face acting,
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's the thing is, like, he has kind of a dumb-sounding voice, and so people don't take him seriously. Emoting. And in this, it's like, even turning and looking at something slowly, you're just like, whoa, the gravity of this now.
What he's got down is the one where it's, like, over the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got, like, a really good, I don't know. I just feel like he's perfected the, like, over-the-shoulder turning, not quite looking at the camera, and not even quite looking all the way behind him. Like, throwing shade from behind his shoulder. It's, like, so good.
It's an art, you guys. And he has
it's not easy.
It. Yeah.
I would bet he's practiced that. It's like Blue Steel in the Mirror. He's definitely...
And, like, I feel like because it's Vin Diesel and he's such a dork, you're probably right. He totally has practiced that. Like, he's a guy who's definitely done the you talking to me thing in the mirror.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
100%.
And I'm thinking he's got, like, a soundtrack in which he practices these looks, too.
Yeah.
That's really, like, intense music,
And then he goes and he sings along to Rihanna.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know anything about this movie. I think it's based on a book or something of that nature.
I know nothing about it either.
Yeah, but
all I saw was that one trailer, and I sent it to you, and I was like, we have to talk about this.
And it was funny because I had gone and seen Age of Ultron, and it was one of the trailers beforehand, and so, like, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this looks so cool, and, like, this is not a thing I'd be into. The Last Witch Hunter? Like, no, not me, but it looks awesome, and so I hadn't actually seen Kristen's message yet, and I was like, Kristen, I saw you sent me a message that we need to talk about something, and she was like, oh yeah, I can't remember what it was, and I was like, oh. Anyways, I saw this trailer for The Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel, she was like, that's what it was! And so consensus, it looks like it's actually kind of cool.
Consensus is it's going to be a fun ride, y'all.
Yeah. I mean, trailers can be misleading, but if they do this movie, just like all I need is the quality of that trailer in the movie.
Yeah, so
and
we basically don't even need Vin Diesel to say anything.
Right? Like, that's fine. Just mute Vin Diesel. Like straight up Ryan Gosling.
Cool one-liners after he kills a witch.
Yeah. Exactly. preferably about family.
Yeah.
If at all possible.
I'm trying to think of something like punny and cool that he could say, but I can't.
That a witch hunter would say. I don't know. I don't know enough about witches.
Like, we're back, witches.
Oh, yep, there you go. Yeah, that's definitely
a good one.
That's definitely a thing.
Just whatever you would use the word bitches for, just substitute that phrase with witches.
You guys help us out. What?
Only say that.
Yeah, what punny lines? If Vin Diesel's character in The Last Witch Hunter were the equivalent of Arnold Schwarzenegger in Batman Forever, is that the one? Batman. Yeah. What would his punny phrases be?
Or really, Arnold Schwarzenegger in any movie.
In anything. That's a really good point.
Your luggage. Yeah, let's say that one. And your racer, do you remember? Your luggage.
Let's say, okay.
Anyway.
If we
if
we put him in that place,
you guys.
What are some puns? This is not our strong suit, our puns. So what give us some one-liners for Vin Diesel in The Last Witch Hunter. Witch-related puns. But yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
It looks fun.
And then other trailer news. I don't know where this one's coming from, but so remember a couple weeks we talked about this really cool movie coming out, cute movie coming out with Simon Pegg and Lake Bell, which we're really stoked.
Yes.
Called Man Up that we're super excited about. But also now Simon Pegg is going to be in something called Absolutely Anything, where he plays a man who these aliens bestow on him the power to do anything. Like he can just say something and it'll happen. And they're testing him as in they've chosen him randomly on Earth. And if he uses his powers for good, then the entire Earth will be spared. But if he doesn't, they're going to destroy the planet. Which seems very arbitrary to me.
Yeah, it does.
Whatever.
It definitely does.
And then what the kind of big selling point for this one is that he has his dog start to be able to talk, and the guy that voices his dog is Robin Williams.
Just so weird.
So weird. So anyway,
it's like the weirdest thing because it looks like it. For one thing, it looks stupid. Like this is not like an intelligent film or anything of that nature. It looks ridiculous, but also like I laughed out loud multiple times in that trailer. Like I'm just sitting here watching this and I'm like, this is so dumb, but this is so funny. And like, are we really doing talking dogs in 2015? But like, it's Robin Williams, the talking dog, and like. Who else is in it? There's like several people who show. Eddie Izzard is in it. Like,
well, there's some famous people that I think voice the aliens who are like
really?
CGI. I think, but I don't remember who they. We should have done better homework on this movie.
Well, you know.
Anyway,
Kate
whatever.
Beckinsale is in it.
Yeah, there's other famous people in it. There's a girl in it that's famous.
You're doing great with this. Keep going. Keep going. It's Kate Beckinsale, Robin Williams, Simon Pegg. I'm guessing Joanna Lumley must be one of the aliens, because I didn't see her in the trailer. Terry Gilliam, also a voice. Oh, no, I guess she is in it. Terry Gilliam's a voice. Eddie Izzard. Oh, that's right, because I forgot. The aliens are voiced by, like, the entire Monty Python troupe.
Oh, that's what it was.
So it's, like, Michael Palin and, like,
that's
all
of them.
Yeah.
I was right.
You were correct there, which is, like, so that's random. This is just, it's like just throwing comedy people at it. Is this comedy Suicide Squad?
It's going to be instead of Jump the Shark, it's going to be like, don't Suicide Squad this movie, guys.
Come on. It's a little top heavy. But it does, I mean, it looks funny enough. Like, it just, to me, like someone pointed out on the message board, it's like, so it's Bruce Almighty, basically. Like, yeah, that was what I was thinking when I was watching. I'm like, I feel like I've seen this movie before. Yeah, and it's like, I feel like it's like sort of like Bruce Almighty / like The Invention of Lying and Ghost Town and things like that, like kind of in that vein as well. You know, those Ricky Gervais movies,
but with aliens.
So then with Paul, this is basically what it comes down to. But I think it looks like it's going to be absurd and, like, immature, but also something that I feel like I have to see because it's like, it's Monty Python, it's Robin Williams, Simon Pegg. I've seen plenty of bad Simon Pegg movies, like Paul, and, like, what was the Fear of Everything or something? Like
the Fear of Absolutely Everything.
Fear of Absolutely Everything. These are very similar titles.
Absolutely Anything and The Fear of Absolutely Everything.
Fear of Absolutely Everything. Yeah. And yeah, that was pretty bad too. That was like a weird bad movie. I don't even know what to make of that. Like, I'm still processing that movie. And Simon Pegg though is coming out in the new Mission Impossible movie, so
I love him
as well.
I love Mission Impossible, you guys. Except for the second one. All the other ones.
Oh, yeah. All the other ones. Wait, what was Hector in the Search for Happiness? That's not what I'm thinking of, is it?
No, it was the Fear of it was the one where he was like...
Yeah, a fantastic fear of everything.
No, whatever. We were close enough.
Yeah.
I've heard it both ways.
It has thing in the title, okay? Yeah. So it's basically the same thing.
And fear.
But Hector in the Search for Happiness was that Simon Pegg movie that, like, was kind of a weird, like, kind of like Walter Mitty or whatever. It's like a Finding Yourself type thing. It's like Eat, Pray, Love, but
yeah,
with,
it
like,
was. And there's someone...
I think it was Rosamund Pike is in it.
Yeah, I was like, there's someone famous girl.
There's another famous girl. We're having a girl problem here, but that's okay. It's Simon Pegg, so you know.
Simon Pegg is great, and we love him. So,
and we're gonna probably
see him.
Yeah. So what else we got?
What else we got? Well, probably something that we have beat to death now has been the Suicide Squad. So yet again, we've got some news this week. Not casting
They just
news.
keep it coming. It's not our fault that they keep
Oddly,
doing
though,
this.
nobody has been added this week.
No.
So they are maybe slowing their roll a little bit.
Yeah.
But they did release the first. So a few days before this, we saw a picture of Will Smith allegedly dressed up in his Deadshot costume.
Yep.
Or just as like a normal. I mean, he was Deadshot, but
yeah, he was like
close.
Yeah, his
It
civvies.
just kind of looked like Will Smith out for a walk. It didn't really look like he was in costume. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then they released this kind of cast photo with like the whole base. I mean, not the whole crew because we're missing like 12 people. I mean, Jared Leto isn't even in it. So,
Yep.
But this cast photo of the Suicide Squad, and there's a lot happening in it.
There's so much happening in this photo.
I mean, I'm not super up on my Suicide Squad like people. Like, I obviously know Harley Quinn and I know Deadshot. And you know the Joker, so I don't know a whole lot of these characters, so I'm not really sure what they're supposed to look like.
I mean, Mac last night was saying, like, the character Adam Beach is playing, he's never even heard of before. Okay. So it's like...
Well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, there's a lot going on there, and there's, like, Killer Croc or whatever. And,
yeah. I mean, there's just so much... Although I will say, then they released just, like, a standalone of Will Smith in his Deadshot.
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
I like his mask and his little eye. He's got like his, you know.
And that's the other thing Mac was saying too, is he was like, you know, like in the comics, actually Deadshot's kind of a lame looking character. He's like, his costume's kind of stupid. Yeah. And so he was like, actually, this is like really cool with the white helmet and the.
Yeah, and the eye.
Yeah.
So I actually did really like that, but then in the all cast picture, he doesn't have the helmet on. He's just standing there with his gun, and Harley Quinn is there, which that's what everyone was mostly excited about.
Yeah,
for some reason. It was like Suicide Squad with Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn is fine. Like, I don't see anything like hugely like wrong with the way she looks. It's like she's definitely. I think maybe the problem with it is because she's this pop of like color or this pop of white in the middle of this this photo and everything that emphasizes like what is going on with the rest of them? Like, it's very military looking. Right. Like, everybody is very, like, it looks like everyone's essentially wearing fatigues, you know, and stuff like that. And a lot of people have pointed out it basically just looks like bad cosplay. A meme that's going around is that it's an ad for, like, the Halloween store. You know, that one that pops up every year. You know, like, it just
smells weird.
Yeah, it does. It's that weird, sweet, latexy smell. Like, the rubber. Ugh. Anyway. That's neither here nor there, but the picture is just so weird and unprofessional looking. Like it doesn't look like a real thing. And so like Harley Quinn looks cool. I'm not a super huge fan of like the booty shorts look or whatever, but essentially like she's got like this cool
punk
counterculture
thing going on.
Yeah,
alternative. She looks very alternative.
Yeah, I think she's the highlight.
Like
she's very alternative. Yeah.
Well, and it's so like it's such a gray picture.
It's so 2002 in that way. Like, that's my thing is I'm like, why? What is this throwback gray look? Like, is 12 Stones and Evanescence going to do the soundtrack? Like, you know,
I
like,
hope so.
It's there's like Stained is just like, hey, I want to be in on this. Like, that's just what. Dude,
Evanescence should do the soundtrack.
Evanescence should do it.
What if they did like a remix of Bring Me to Life?
A remix? I hate
remixes, by the way. I'm totally against them, but I would be for it if they did one for them.
If they did one for Suicide, like it would just fit. It would fit Suicide Squad to have a remix, like dubstep, Bring Me to Life with Jared Leto sings the 12 Stones guy's part. It's going to be really triumphant because that's how
be good.
30 Seconds to Mars songs are. So it's like you're always defeating someone. 30 Seconds to Mars and Muse, they've just apparently got a lot of enemies that they're always singing about how they are
it's the man,
overcoming.
Corey.
Is
Those
it the
fat
man?
cats.
Is that who it is?
I don't know. They say fat cats. Well, that's like a Muse song, one Muse song. I'm saying they as if that's like all their songs.
Yeah, like all of the they, all Jared Leto and those fat cats. I don't know what he talks about.
Anyway, so I mean, as we've said before, we have no idea what's happening in this movie.
No, it's so bizarre. It's
so
like,
bizarre.
They have to be playing off of this. Like, I tweeted the other day that I was like, this isn't a real movie, right? Like, we're being trolled. There's not possibly going to be a real thing. Because it's so bizarro. And it's like, I feel like they have to be feeding off that now. Like, they realize this is our advertising campaign.
Our advertising campaign is to be as banana pants as humanly possible.
Just release another insane thing nobody understands every, like, week or so until this movie actually comes out.
So I'm actually just waiting for them to release a statement saying that's really not what the cast looks like.
Right? Exactly. This is the 75th anniversary of, like, April Fools or something, and this is why I just hope that they...
I mean, it would just be hilarious if the movie comes out and it's, like, nothing like any of their promo stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, what have I been watching for the past year?
Right. That would be brilliant. You know, that's a great marketing campaign.
Man.
We had like I mean, this is the thing that when that Joker thing came out and all that kind of stuff, we had the whole conversation about on my Facebook with some regular listeners of the Fancave and some friends and so forth. Just about the fact that, like, it's DC trying to not be Marvel, but doing it, like, all wrong. You know, like, you can, like, it's fine if your movies are Marvel-esque because everyone loves Marvel movies, and you're, like, a comic book, you know, company. That's fine. Yeah, I don't know why.
Just different characters. Like, we're still gonna... I don't know.
Whatever. I don't know. It's weird. So we'll see.
Well,
this is our constant thing. We'll see.
That we can't explain to you.
Yeah, we have no explanation. We just want you to know it exists, and you can see it on the blog if you haven't already seen it for some reason.
Yeah.
And let us know your thoughts. If you love it, tell us.
Yes, true. Yeah. We'd love to hear that too. But if you want something almost weirder,
manage to top it.
Manage to top it, shockingly, which we is saying a lot. So Justin Timberlake. For those of you, first of all, who know I love him dearly, so I think he does no wrong. But he does own a tequila company, Sauza 901, and he released this YouTube video that's a mockumentary on limes and how limes kind of have fell from grace because his tequila is so smooth you don't need a lime chaser. But it's weird because he's like dressed up as a giant lime.
Yeah, like with like a lime head.
Like a lime head, and he's got lime friends, and it's this ridiculous video. It's so bizarre. And then there's like a follow-up video of Justin like at his office being like, you may have seen some kind of lime video. We did not have anything to do with that, even though, you know, he's like playing golf with limes or like playing pool with limes, or he's using limes as like his pen holder. It's like,
how do you even come up with like an idea like this? How high are you when you're sitting around the boardroom like, you know, it'd be awesome, like
if I dressed up like a giant
lime, like full makeup, full lime makeup. And then, like, I talk about, like, living this Wolf of Wall Street life. And then that comes crashing down, and my face starts getting moldy. You're like, what?
My car breaks down.
Like, what is this? It's so weird.
But, like, so great. I love it so much. But it's so weird.
I'm thinking I might have nightmares about it. It's just, like, that weird.
It is. And it's like, who are the other two guys playing the limes? There's two other guys that are dressed as limes in this video.
Yeah, and they're like picketing together.
Yeah, or they like go out together. It's just...
It's very, like, it's the level of bizarre of this is like 90s bizarre, you know? Like just one of those things that you would have seen like on MTV or something like that. That's like... I don't know. In an age where the California raisins reigned supreme, this kind of thing would make total sense. But this
would have been like the raisins and these limes would have hung out together in a creepy food universe.
Yep.
They would have also probably gotten maraschino cherries and green olives in the mix, or
right?
something.
Exactly. Although, like, green olives were kicked out in this, right? Like, oh, this usurped the green olives. And
Right.
is there an entire world of like drink condiments somewhere
That,
like
are
they
fighting
all
for
are?
power.
Yeah, like it's like a drink condiment mafia, drink fruit mafia. And, you know, for a time the limes reigned supreme, but now because of this salsa, like it's like the maraschino cherry is going to take over because the vodka still needs it, you know, and they're gonna control the neighborhood, and it's gonna be real bad for the limes.
Yeah, it's like a gang war.
Yeah, I think this is the next logical step for this. Actually, we should contact JT.
Yeah,
Let him know we figured out the next.
We've thought this through the end.
Yeah. Listen, there's going to be a big gang warfare thing going on.
It's going to be
turf,
like
the turf
Anchorman.
war. That's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm.
And someone's going to have a trident and a grenade.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be
fruit's going to explode
ghosts.
and it's going to be glorious.
It's going to be great. And when they explode, it's going to look like a Gushers commercial.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have someone at your door?
No.
Okay.
I just
now you're just in that permanent state of like waiting for someone to interrupt you.
Waiting for someone to interrupt me. I know.
It's like looking at the phone.
You know what you should put in between every time you have to cut it is those like bleep, like that little bleep noise. It's like, and we had to cut and we're back in. It's like a second take. You know?
Oh yeah,
you know
like like a slate with a like boop. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm not gonna. Yeah. Anyway, you don't have to do that. I'm just saying you might want to because it's gonna be so awkward.
There's gonna be You guys, there have been a lot of interruptions today. I think you're probably gonna notice. Well, especially watching, but I imagine the audio cuts are probably not gonna be super smooth. They might need a lime chaser, is what I'm telling you.
True.
We might need a lime chaser.
Nice tie-in. You're welcome, 909.
Yeah, 901.
Dang it.
You guys, we're from Southern California. 909 makes more sense to us.
Yeah, 901 is not a thing. Like, where do you get that number from? 901 what? Proof? That would kill you.
Oh my god. Just take a sip and die immediately.
Yeah. That's like moonshine status.
Yeah. That's far more than moonshine. That's like, I don't think 901 proof is like actually a thing.
What's that?
Physically impossible.
What's that thing you see? Gut rot? Is that what people got when they drank illegal alcohol back in the day?
Sure. I know gut rot's a thing. I don't know what it means.
I don't know if that's what it was for.
That sounds like what would happen to you.
There was that thing that like they used to drink and it was called anyway. And the really bad stuff had a name that was like you don't want to drink that because the chances of you dying is like really high.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
it's like Russian roulette.
This is a really lame
alcohol.
story because I don't really know what it's called.
No.
I should know. It's clearly
which
an old man
separates
thing.
it from all the other stories we tell on this show.
Really. Separates us from trying to explain what was it we were trying to explain earlier? Oh, the movie with all the people in it. We didn't know who any of them were or what the plot was.
But that's what IMDb is for.
Sometimes I feel like this is the worst pop culture podcast ever because we only just kind of know what we're talking about sometimes.
And yet people listen to us. So thanks, guys. I don't know why you're here, but
we're glad you are.
Keep on keeping on. I think it says something that people have mostly stopped correcting us. Like we're gaining more listeners, but less corrections. It's like now people are like, forget it. It's not worthwhile. Duncan still fairly regularly corrects us. He's been doing this since we were in 3rd grade or whatever. He's used to having to, correct me, but overall, not as many of those. So I think everyone's given up. They're just going to say things wrong. They have no idea what they're talking about.
You know what we do know? You know something we do know what we're talking about, though?
Is there something?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should probably head on over to the Chris Pratt corner for that, though.
Oh! Woo! Oh my goodness.
It's good, you guys. So we got official word from Lucas, from the horse's mouth himself.
Yes.
From Lucasfilm, there will definitely be an Indiana Jones 5.
Yes.
Technically 4 if you don't count 4 like we don't.
Right.
There will be an Indiana Jones 4.
Sorry, Matt. We're not counting it.
Sorry, Matt. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing
Sorry,
for that.
not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the real article came from Vanity Fair. Well, whatever. kind
release
of the
or
more,
whatever. Yeah.
you know. And then there was this other website that I actually liked better because they had kind of cool pictures and stuff. But they were saying how early on in the race, and I didn't actually know this, early on apparently in the talks is that there are rumors that Bradley Cooper would play Indiana Jones.
Yes.
But then as we all know, Chris Pratt we thought was in the running for Indiana Jones. But this kind of gives us quite a predicament because really both of those are really good choices.
Yeah. And like I honestly think, and this is very difficult for me to say, especially on the hallowed grounds of the Chris Pratt corner, that Bradley Cooper actually might have the edge for me in terms of playing this role. I mean, let's be real, Chris Pratt would be amazing, you know? But I feel like, I mean, how did your friend put it? Because I feel like he or she put it well.
He put it well. He said he's like, there's something about Bradley Cooper that he's just kind of more nonchalant and a little more like, I don't give a F about this kind of attitude of like, whatever, which is like very Indy. It's like he's just kind of like, he's cool without knowing he's cool.
Yeah, or like even he knows, but like is unfazed by it. He's just like,
so it's like, this is how I roll. Because he's like also kind of nerdy because he's like an archaeologist, which is like sort of nerdy. You know? Exactly. If in the real grand scheme of things, he like digs in the dirt and teaches students.
Yeah. So I think you're gonna have like these are two very different kind of indies that you would have between Chris Pratt and Bradley Cooper, because Chris Pratt has a lot of that sort of that humor. It's not quite self-deprecating, but it's sort of like he makes himself look bad or ridiculous, with his humor. And so everything's sort of like, as much as he makes a quip, it's also a joke on himself. And that's sort of his swagger, his confidence, all of that kind of thing. And then like Bradley Cooper, on the other hand, I think is right. It's like more that nonchalant, like
suave. He's got that, he can do that smolder and then got that although
you see like A-Team or The Losers or things like that.
A-Team when he was all rugged and like beautiful.
Yeah, like
there's this picture that actually last night we were talking about it, me and my friend, and he brought up a picture. It was a side by side, and it was of Indy when he's like all sweaty and like running through the whatever, and he's all like he's kind of like looking up at the thing, and he's got this smile, and then it was side by side with a still shot of Bradley Cooper from the A-Team when he was like same thing. He was like in a bathrobe or something, and he's like got this smile, and I'm like, he can pull off that grin. Harrison had that grin.
Yeah, exactly.
That, like, it was like he's up to shenanigans. And you kind of want to punch him, but first you're going to make out with him.
Yeah, exactly. That's totally it. And it was A-Team. I always
felt for Karen Allen because I'm like, I felt bad for her, really. Because really, all she wanted to do was beat the hell out of him.
Right.
But she couldn't because it's like the equally strong force of like, but I just want to make out with you.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I choose between these two warring emotions?
Yeah, the impulses would be so strong either way. I mean,
and so I just feel like you really have that. You've got that pull there, and it's man.
And as I was saying,
I'm glad I don't have to make the decision. I know lots of times I want to say, let me choose the cast for this. I don't want to choose for this one. Just too much pressure.
Exactly. But this is what. I just. No, it's too tough. Like my heart always is with Chris Pratt. But yeah, I think, and I was gonna say, it's A-Team that I was thinking of. I always get A-Team and Losers cast confused, and so I was like, is it A-Team or the Losers I'm talking about? A-Team that he's in.
Because Losers was Chris Evans.
Yes. And so like, but yeah, like looking at him like in A-Team and things like that, I just feel like Bradley Cooper, he has that smolder, he has that swagger, he has that, that like devil may care attitude down.
Yeah, and he even played, sorry, I keep interrupting you, keep going.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just saying, even in the A-Team, he even had that same thing with Jessica Biel where she's like, I want to kill him, but he's like, giving her this look, and he's like being so great and like, but like so charming, like so charming. It's like, I was applauding her for like the first 70% of that movie where she was like, no, I hate you, I don't like you, but you're like, she does.
But how can you not though?
And it's like, but you love him.
Yeah.
And she's
you
just
wanna
like, no.
kiss it.
Yeah. I want to date him, love him, and marry him. Oh my gosh, it was so great because he's so dang charming. Just charming, that guy. And like I've said before, he's so beautiful. It's almost like looking at the sun.
Yeah, he really is.
You can't look at him for too long because he's just so pretty.
Yeah, he is. So all that to say that this is a tough call, and like if they pull like a third party out of this, we're just gonna be like confused because really you've got two great options right there.
Yeah,
but like
really
also, I mean, the thing is that all these rumors were going around, and like the like Variety article, I think both articles actually talk about basically like we don't even have a script for this yet.
Yeah,
like, it's going to happen, but we have got nothing yet. So. I don't know if, like, maybe they will think about who they cast first and then sort of write the character around how that person would play it, or if it's, like, calm down, everybody, like, let us write the script and then we'll figure out who fits that Indy.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
Exactly. That's the old-timey way. In case anyone over the age of 80 is listening and needed a translation of what we were talking about, don't put the cart before the horse is what we were trying to say. Which reminds me, by the way, when, as I mentioned last week, I was on the Cameron Lewis show, his big return. Cameron Lewis! And he, as Kristen and actually Brienne messaged me about this too, and like, this is just across the board. He was using an old-timey voice a lot in the interview that he and I did. It's not really an interview, it's more of a conversation. He doesn't interview me, but regardless, he was doing this old-timey voice in it, and everybody loves this old-timey voice. And then last week in our podcast, Kristen kept using old-timey voice and old-timey phrases, and so one of these days we just need to have an episode with Cameron and Kristen just talking in old-timey voice, just like
and only time. Using idioms from 1840.
Exactly, and it'll be so magical. So look out for that in the future. The dated episode of Fancave.
It'll be Back to the Past.
Back to the Past. It'll be
Flashback Friday episode.
Do we have more? What else?
We don't have more. That's it.
Oh!
Which is good, because if my phone rings one more time.
Oh, it has been a struggle, friends. There may only be like 20 minutes of this episode after I'm done editing it.
I'm sorry.
We did our best for you, though, and hopefully you enjoyed. So help us out with some Vin Diesel witch hunter puns. Mm-hmm. We'd love to hear that.
And if you have any favorite old man sayings, I'd love to hear them. I love to always increase my repertoire of old man sayings.
Yes, exactly.
Or old lady sayings. Either one.
Whatever the case may be.
Bless her heart.
Yeah, Bless Her Heart is a very good one. Sunny Mabry does some great videos, if you look at her Vine, that are like, it's like a series that's like Southerners can make anything sound sweet. Right. And it's all stuff like that's like really mean, but it sounds like, oh, bless her heart.
Bless
things
her heart.
Like that, you know?
Speaking of... Oh.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of Vines... that guy that did the Ryan Gosling won't eat cereal Vine passed away. He had cancer. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have seen these, but it basically was like Ryan Gosling movie scenes, and this guy puts like a thing of cereal and tries to get him to eat it, you know, and he's just like looking just like Ryan Gosling won't eat cereal. And so the guy who did it had cancer, and he passed away, and he had tons of followers, was really big on Vine. And then Ryan Gosling posted his very first Vine of him eating a bowl of cereal, and it is the most... And it's so beautiful and wonderful. And it's like, he's pouring the cereal, and then he just kind of does this.
Yeah, it does like a little cheers motion. Yeah.
Still cheers, and it's just delightful. So we'll link to that. I'll try and find it somewhere. I'm sure we can find it.
This is the most emotional video of someone eating cereal I've ever seen.
I'm like,
yeah. Ryan, that was classy.
That guy.
Classy.
I just like him. I just think he does great things.
Not to mention that then brought me back to watching the old compilation. And, like, the compilation's gotten longer since the first time I'd seen it, so I'd never seen the ones where, like, he's actually, like, actively hitting the spoon out of the hands before, and I was, like, crying, laughing, watching it. Because he adds, like, interviews, too. So the only ones I'd ever seen had been, like, clips from movies and him turning away and stuff like that. And then it's, like, an interviews, and he's every time he flicks his hand, the spoon flies out, and it's great, you guys. We'll link to that as well, just because it's so great. It's so nice that he did that, and it's a lovely tribute. But yeah, that's ending on a happy and sad note simultaneously. Sorry about that. Bittersweet.
Life's like a box of chocolates, Corey.
Does that apply? I don't Life's like a box of chocolates. Bittersweet.
Because sometimes you open them and you get the one with the cherry in it, and you're like, gah, and you gotta put it back in.
Put it back in? You're a monster.
No, I always kind of poke a hole in the bottom of them to see what it is, and then I put it back. I don't want
Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant like
Or
you
sometimes
bite
I take a bite
and
of
then
it.
you're like, and then you put it back in the box?
Well, sometimes I take a bite out of the bottom to see what it is.
Out of the bottom so that the next person
So you guys,
eats it before they realize it's half eaten.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
You are
Life
a
lesson.
monster.
Don't eat a box of chocolates at my house.
Yeah.
More than likely they have bites taken out.
That is a really good life lesson, and I'm going to make sure that I adhere to that. Someday I'm going to be like at your apartment, I'm going to be like, oh yay, Kristen has box chocolates. Yoink. And then I'm going to...
You'll be like,
wait, check the bottom. No. Nay, sir, nay.
It's okay. It's like when, you leave it for the next person. It's okay.
Yeah, I won't throw it away. I'll just be like, next sucker. Anyone want some chocolates?
We've got a delightful assortment here.
Try the cherry. It's to die for. It's divine.
It's divine. Oh, bless her heart.
Oh, boy.
Oh, gosh. Anyway.
Good job, Fancave.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
As per usual, you can rate and review us on iTunes. We'd appreciate it if you would do that. You can find us on Stitcher, SoundCloud, the YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter at Electric Fan Cave, on Facebook as well, Electric Fan Cave, the blog at electricfeast.com. We are there as well. And then you can follow Corrigan and I on our separate Twitters.
It's true. You can
at
do
Nerds
that.
Rocket, and then at Kristen_Lat for myself.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll get on that little doodad.
On the Twitter machine.
little
BT Dubs
Twitter.
on electricfeast.com. Check it out. We got a new trailer. It might only be on the YouTube right now. There's a trailer for a new little film that's coming out from Electric Feast.
Ooh.
So make sure you watch that and get in on that action.
Really should
as
head
well.
to that website anyway, not only to find the blog, but
Yeah,
then
just,
they've
like,
got all
check it
sorts
out.
of fun stuff over there.
There's
So
all kinds of fun things.
our mothership. That was better.
That's us beaming down from the mothership.
I wouldn't even tell me my ass was this big.
So that's the fan cave. Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for joining us. I hope you come back after this weird moment.
Please return.
Please return.
Please come home.
Validate us. Anyway, so for the Electric Fan Cave, I'm Kristen Latterell.
I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
Take it easy, kids.
Peace out, everybody. Oh, Hector in the search for happiness.
Could you hold on 1 second?
Yeah.
Our Ministries, this is Kristen. Okay. Dummy Ministries, this is Kristen.
Oh, they're here.
Hi.
Okay. I'll concept
Mary,
like
Mother
it's
of Joseph.
just-
Give me 1 second.
Oh my gosh. Did you just say Mary, Mother of Joseph?